episode 3 of Table of Geequals. I'm PigMonkey, and with me...
I'm Alex, and our two guests.
I'm Scott O'Coin, Commanding Officer of Maritime Heavy Armor.
And I'm Ben O'Leary, 3rd Officer of Maritime Heavy Armor.
Awesome. So we've got a lot of officers.
It's all about the rank. It's all about the rank.
What is Maritime Heavy Armor? Just to give quickly, all the people who don't know anything about Maritime Heavy Armor or Heavy Armor.
Do you want the short list, the shorter list, or the long list?
Sure.
I want you to be specific, but not bore me.
We drink, and we dress up.
That's the really
Little
short.
longer.
That's the really short list.
That's like 80% of the people.
We wear cool things. We are a costuming group that spawned out of Hal-Con 2010 of various armor sci-fi characters from various different video games, movies, or generic sci-fi. I myself play a stormtrooper, but we have other guys like from Warhammer or from Halo, and we all got together and were like, hey, we like to costume and stuff. You want to be friends? So then it kind of just happened from there, and we go to events like Shearwater Aviation Museum Hobby Show. We go to other conventions, and we recently started doing
How many vehicles do you have?
How many
to
vehicles
take
do we have?
in order to transport all of you? Because I've seen your armor.
I don't think I've seen
and your
all of them.
armor is not small.
It fits in a suitcase. It fits in a large, a 28-inch hard shell luggage case.
It's really just the helmet.
I can bring it on a plane.
Yeah.
I've brought it on a plane.
But somebody like Joe, who's got the
Joe brings it in the back seat of his car.
That's a person and a half right there.
Yeah.
He needs a vehicle to transport his gear.
That is huge. That is the biggest armor I've...
Usually suitcases, like luggage cases, or hockey bags. I know Master Chief brings his stuff around in a hockey bag.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Like I've seen...
You have to admire the dedication that it takes to build one of these suits. Like, hold up your helmets. Just so people, I don't know if the cameras can see them.
Yeah, the cameras can.
But that's a labor of love.
This is like 19 pieces and some love with a heat gun and a lot of glue to put together.
I've heard that love with a heat gun can be painful.
There's a dent right there from a little too much love, but
I think you missed it. But
Yeah.
that's fine.
no,
He's just heard it a lot, I'm sure. Just
Are those the words you're looking for? No. Get away from me. People are fun.
So, and you have open membership. Anybody who wants to learn how to make armor?
Not so much.
There is a process to getting in the group.
Okay.
We're open to any sort of genre. Like we're not just Star Wars, so any type of sci-fi genre with armor. But there is a process, and there's an approval board that will look at your stuff and sort of screen you
rules and
in.
regulations. We don't want someone to just tape together cardboard and say, "Yeah, I'm Master Chief." It's like
We're easygoing, but we do have.
we have
standards.
standards.
You like the idea that you make a really cool set of armor is kind of paramount to being a member of the group, of course. But if somebody were listening to this and wanted to learn how to make a cool set of armor, you guys would be the guys to contact.
We'd be more than happy to help. We've got a lot of information on hand of how to build this stuff, a lot of resources available. We'll even give you some tutorials right on hand. I mean, last year we ran a panel at Hal-Con. Last summer we actually did a small bit of a panel at Quantum Frontier upstairs. That was pretty fun, and
what if I have no skill at all when it comes to that stuff. Like I've done my own zombie makeup.
Yeah.
That's just like liquid latex, some makeup, and then bam,
Toilet
zombie.
paper.
Yeah. What if I wanted to buy a suit or pay somebody to make me a suit? Could I still join the group? Or is part of it like a real part of it is building it yourself?
A real part of it is either building it yourself or actually putting some work and dedication into it. Because granted, like with my Stormtrooper in particular, I bought it as a kit, and then I built it and assembled it and glued it together and cut it and trimmed it and painted it based on my body size. So
Not as easy as it sounds either.
yeah,
None of it sounds easy.
a lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into this, and literally blood. I think I was like 2 hours into the project, and I sliced my finger open and just smeared blood on it. I'm like, all right, this is gonna be good.
You made the proper sacrifice.
Yeah, exactly. Once you bleed on your armor, you then
It's
know
like
it's good.
like moving house.
Yeah.
If you're ever moving and nobody bleeds, the proper sacrifices haven't been made to the moving gods, and where you're going to live is going to be cursed. So make sure that you give the sharp things to your friends
Exactly.
so that they bleed. That's I'm not going to bleed for my move. Not when I can get a sucker to do it for me.
You're right. And to answer your question by asking Ben a question, how much experience did you have when you put your gear together?
Mine's made out of nice sharp aluminum, and I didn't have, which is ironic. My father is a metal worker by trade, but I didn't really absorb too much of his skill. So I cut myself and put a lot of blood in my armor, but not much skill at all. I was pretty new to the whole thing.
So there you have it. Support the Maritime Heavy Armor Association and donate blood today.
We can tell you where we went wrong, so you don't.
Yeah.
And that's where our expertise comes in, because we are about as amateur as it gets.
I went wrong shortly after the birth canal.
I think you went wrong shortly before, but that's a matter of
That's
opinion.
true. They dropped me on my head while I was still in the womb. So you guys are doing a charity event all summer.
Yeah.
Yep.
On the Halifax waterfront.
We've been doing it for about a year and a half now, I think. No, a little more, about 2 years now.
Yep.
Because we've, what we do is we raise money on the waterfront. We just wander around for Prostate Cancer Canada. Pictures are free, donations are welcome. The tourists love it, the locals love it, the fans love it, kids especially love it. Some kids really hate it. Dogs don't like us either.
Yeah, we scared a lot of kids in the last walk.
Yeah. But
Don't want
people
to be
just,
close, but not too close.
That's like one of the best parts, though, isn't
We've
it?
made-
That's why I loved Halloween. I loved Halloween because I could scare the hell out of children and nobody could hold it against me. All the parents are like, ha ha ha, oh, that's very good. It's Halloween and he's scared.
When like I've only ever been scared by something once, something in a costume once, and that was at a fair, and I don't even know what it was. It was like one of those costumes left over from like a 70s or early 80s TV show, and like this is in 1990 or 91, and it just scared the crap out of me. But I then felt, I still have this twinge of guilt, as if like I made the guy in the costume feel bad. Whereas like after talking with people like you guys who are in costumes and doing stuff, they just laugh their asses off.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
fuck you, kid.
we've made children cry. I think like the best one was Joe tends to make people cry because he's big and imposing.
Yeah.
And he made this one kid cry. Then he takes his helmet off, because that's what we do to calm kids down, to show them that we're people. Kid looks at him, then cries more.
Yeah.
Made it worse.
I've met Joe.
Yeah.
It's not a surprise.
So your camera guy to just like put in a picture
Yeah.
right over the video
we'll have
right now.
pictures of Joe.
Yeah.
Pull
yeah.
up a picture
Before and
right now.
after
It'll be
the
good.
helmet.
Yeah.
But so it's for prostate cancer.
Yeah.
And you guys are taking pictures with people on the waterfront. How has the waterfront felt about your presence?
Surprisingly good, simply because it's public property. We've run into a couple police officers, and they get a kick out of it.
We had that security guy at the ferry terminal once come out, and we thought, oh, he's going to ask us to leave. He's like, no, I want a picture.
Yep.
So it's never we've never had a negative reaction at all. It's always been
That's great.
It's always been really, really positive.
Usually we'll take the ferry over, and we'll suit up at the in the parking lot behind Celtic Corner. We'll go in for a beer, and then we'll hop the ferry over. One particular time, the guy's like, "You can get on the ferry for free. Just let me take a picture." So we're like, "All right."
Yeah.
Change back in the pocket, snap a photo. Then we get on the ferry, and we're just standing there, and people are taking photos with us. We explain what we're doing, and they give us money, and we look up at the bridge, and the guys are looking at us, and they're just pilot waves at pilot, captain, pilot, vehicle driver, just looks down at us, gives us a wave after
Ferry boat captain.
ferry boat
There you go.
captain.
The
Is one
Charon.
a captain? If it's
Charon.
just
He's,
the ferry?
isn't he a Charon?
I
Wouldn't
don't know.
that be-
You're asking the wrong person.
That would be like the ferryman in Greek.
Oh,
Yeah,
So
That's a good
him
one.
yeah.
I
It was
know.
subtle.
there
You
are
just went
pe-
right by you.
No, I'm
Some
sorry.
Big
It's-
hole
anyway.
in your geek
Uh,
knowledge.
And we're in the middle of the harbor, and he comes down. We think he's gonna rag on us because we don't mean to fundraise on Metro Transit because they get me back and forth to work, and I really appreciate them. And
Yeah.
one of our guys is a Metro Transit driver. I won't bore you with those details. He comes down. We think he's gonna rag on us, and he's like, "Can I get a photo with you?" And the first thing that runs through my mind is, "Yeah, all right." Second thing is, who the fuck's driving the boat?
Well, again, it's that whole like, do we need to call him a captain?
Yeah, exactly.
It's-
You stand there and push buttons. It's autopilot, isn't it?
No, but that's great though.
Yeah.
So everybody seems to really get a kick out of it.
Yeah, the only person I think who really didn't like us was the guys down at Pier 21. That was really about it.
Okay, so so you're doing your presence is felt from the ferry terminal
to Pier 21.
To Pier
21.
21,
Go up and down.
and then as far from the waterfront to the bars.
Why can't you go on Pier 21?
In order to busk or fundraise on Pier 21, you have to pay a fee of some variety.
Really?
Yes, and the commissionaires will ask you to leave if you don't do it.
And if you don't
And
leave
and
after
those
The HRP will come down and forcibly remove you because it's technically private property.
well
I mean I get that, you know, it's their property and everything, and they can do with it as they please.
Yeah.
Have you explained to them what it's for?
Yes, but I don't think we push the subject too much, simply because the $20 or $30 we'd happily pay, but
that would be $20 or $30 per
yeah, exactly.
visit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And after the amount of money we usually make going back and forth on the waterfront versus the money we actually made the one day we went into Pier 21 and did some fundraising, just really wasn't worth it. I mean, last weekend we pulled in, what was it, $250? We pulled in $250 just
Wow.
walking up and down the waterfront.
$250, and that's
For
before
4 hours.
the summer.
Yeah, it was
rush.
a garbage day. It was like 10 degrees,
Wow.
partly cloudy.
Yep.
We had like, I don't know, 7 or 8 guys there.
That's
Maybe.
amazing.
Yeah. I mean,
you must sweat your balls off.
I don't pee, though.
Summertime.
It comes with the job. You just
Yeah.
get used to it.
So you don't even get a pee break.
I don't have to. Like, it all comes out in sweat.
Yeah, you sweat it out. Really
I'll take in like 2 or 3 liters of beer. It all comes out in sweat. I don't have to pee. Everybody wins.
kids, get your picture taken with a stormtrooper.
What do you mean tractor beams down?
No, those were the droids I was looking for, asshole.
Hey, you see
Dude,
a
that's a 4-year-old,
T16?
man.
I get that shit so much. Yeah, I get it. That's the line from the movie. You're a funny guy.
Say 2 or 3 jokes every
That's
single
why I
time.
like. Yeah, exactly. That's why I like having the helmet, because while you're saying like, "Oh, this is a droid you're looking for," I'm like, "Fuck off, just get the fuck away from me."
You always get
Okay,
the, "Don't blink,
I gotta
smile."
say this, dude. Like, I mean, I've known you for like 2 or 3 years, and you are
Fuck, really?
way too. Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
shit.
2013. You are way more intimidating with the helmet on. I can say the
Thanks.
stormtrooper thing. It's funny how the armor really kind of makes you that much more intimidating out of
It really changes the person you are, because when I put my kit on, I like kids, I will dance and act dumb. Whereas when I don't have my kit on, I fucking hate kids, I don't dance, and I act dumb.
Yeah,
Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah, it's a horrible song.
Well,
there.
this week, and are you?
Well, no, I was just so you guys are gonna hang around and discuss geekery with us then for the rest.
I've
of
never opened a comic book. Do I have to stay here? or
Fuck
can I leave?
off.
You've honestly never opened a comic book?
I'm sure I've opened a comic.
That's amazing.
book.
What about they've had like Star Wars free comic book day
Yeah.
comics before? You've never
guess.
you haven't even opened a Star Wars comic?
He reads
I-
my comic because I put him in it.
Yeah, that's
So whatever page he came
okay.
in.
If
he
you
started
can
reading.
if you can ram me in a comic somehow, then maybe I'll read it. But I'm more into novels. Like in the last 2 months, I've plowed through 4 of the Republic Commando books because it's all about me, and I'm
Here's
me.
here's a question for you. So you read the Star Wars like novelization universe,
Yes,
right?
I'm just recently getting into them, and I'm plowing into them.
Okay, so you've just gotten into it, but are you at all pissed off that Disney has said that none of that is canon anymore?
Disney can suck my balls.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. So you got extra close to the mic to emphasize how angry you are.
Yeah. I try to stay mellow about these things. I don't
Really?
want to lose my
Because
shit.
I mean,
but-
most people I know, apart from it's the like Nazi Disney war machine, aside from that, I'm fairly certain Disney is going to treat the franchise with the respect that the fans who came up
Lucas
the
didn't
first
give it.
time. You know what?
just give me your fucking money.
That's it. That's it. I mean, they will give the people what they want, and what the people don't want is NSYNC.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I'd love to see Lance Bass and then I can't even say his fucking
Lance
name.
Bass.
Lance Vance. No. So that joke's gone.
Yeah.
He
No.
could play Luke Skywalker.
He could, a young Luke Skywalker. No, but like
Young gay Luke Skywalker.
well, anyway, not even gonna go there.
Is he actually gay, or am I just being a dick?
I think you're just being a dick.
You're a dick anyway.
So you're a dick.
Lance actually gay?
I don't know. I think
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
didn't
he's
Oh yeah, no. Oh,
Didn't
you
one of them
you
come
didn't
out
know
with-
that?
he
Oh yeah,
ripped
he
the
is.
door off
Okay.
the
Oh, yeah.
closet and came barging out.
Which is great.
yeah.
The
But
peanut gallery had to chime in.
Yeah.
Thanks.
no, but like I was, you know, I'm not much of a Star Wars fan. I mean, they're great films, but when the whole J.J. Abrams Star Trek reboot came out, you know, I thought it was a fun movie.
Yeah.
And I liked that it opened the door to many fantastic new stories. I was really pissed off that was pretty much the end of ever revisiting the original universe of Star Trek in TV or film ever again.
I'm kind of upset about that too. I agree with you. Like I'd be really happy for a new Star Trek series, but if they're gonna set it in the alternate universe, I'm not gonna be as excited.
Well, and
really?
yeah.
I see.
I am. I'm just not at the same time, right?
Again, it opens up J.J. Abrams opened up the door to many wonderful new storylines.
the same but different. Like I can't wait to.
A universe without Vulcan, like
Yeah.
I know it doesn't seem like a whole lot, but like there are 10,000 Vulcans left.
That'll really change.
It really
what
does.
Starfleet is.
Yeah,
So,
and
yeah.
you know, it's just plus I don't know. I was kind of always holding out hope for a Deep Space Nine film. And that'll never happen. So
I can understand your strange predilection.
No,
for
Deep Space Nine was the
Deep
best
Space
Star
Nine.
Trek.
Oh,
Hey,
anybody-
no. I love DS9.
yeah,
It has of my favorite Star Trek episodes, it has the top 3. But the fact is that not everybody, most people like that episodic format where you can, it's like the Etch-a-Sketch plot, right?
Oh, yeah.
You just
like that's the thing.
we
that,
start again.
it's
Everything back
like
to
with X-Files. Okay, like that they did have that overarching like government conspiracy BS plot line, but the reason it was popular was because they had that monster of the week storytelling. It's the same reason why a lot of people who aren't super into Trek always cite The Next Generation as their favorite, because there were a few times where things like were brought back up, but for the most part it was just episodic storytelling. Like each episode was its own little,
Yeah, you
short
could jump
novel.
in at any point in time,
Yeah.
watch an episode, and not be lost.
Deep Space Nine.
Yeah. No, you
You
have to watch
watch,
that from
like,
like the fifth
the
season
yeah.
on, otherwise you're toast.
Oh yeah, you're just completely lost if you watch.
But I loved it because of the same reason I love the Star Wars Republic Commando books. The deep, gritty, political. Oh, this whole Federation or Galactic Republic isn't all flashy and happy. They're a bunch of
they're
what did you say?
flawed.
Aristocratic
the
dicks.
Jedi were
Well-
a bunch of aristocratic dicks when seen from a certain perspective.
I really liked DS9 because it introduced the Federation's secret police.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And-
Yeah,
and-
Section
31.
Yeah, and the I loved Section 31. I like finally, and that was one thing that Odo said is I remember him. They were talking about Section 31, and he said, "I'm surprised that you couldn't see this. Like every government has the organization that does
Whether it be the Tal Shiar or the
every
Obsidian
single
Order,
one.
CSIS.
Yeah. For all the good they are.
I'm gonna disappear. Well, like the day after this podcast goes up, I'm gonna disappear.
Yeah.
It's gonna be CSIS. I'm just kidding.
The books are even better. The books are really
The
good.
Section 31.
Yeah, because they even they really show the backstory of Section 31 and the formation of the Federation.
See,
and Section 31's written into it.
When I heard, yeah, they said that it's been around since the beginning, but I thought it would be great to write a story where Section 31 is the people who were responsible for blowing up the Klingon planet that actually started the Klingon peace. And I still contest that is probably what happened. In they were responsible for blowing up the planet that started that.
You know what? If you make that a popular enough theory, and they ever revisit the old universe, that they will work that in, just like how they worked in how like why the Klingons looked one way in the original series, but then looked different in the next generation. I thought that was
great. I was like, okay, guys, I want to see how you're going to do it.
They took my favorite fan theory. I mean, Gene Roddenberry, whenever he was asked about it, would just say, I wasn't given very much money for makeup, so
He's just honest.
I did what I could. But fans were like, no. It was genetic engineering. They were trying to make them look more human so that they could sneak them into the Federation and then completely destabilize shit from the inside. Yeah. And then and Enterprise, which, you know, a lot of people shit on it, but it had its good moments.
I loved it.
I don't know.
The
I
Enterprise,
the
third and fourth season were great.
Yeah.
I didn't like the first two seasons when they were doing the episodic bullshit, but when they were doing the three episode arcs, that was really interesting.
Look at the first two seasons of any Star Trek.
Yeah, I'll give you that, because Kira is a completely unlikable character in the first two
Everybody's
seasons.
an unlikable character in the first two seasons of Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
Like, really? Yeah. Cisco had to, like, lose the hair on the top of his head to become badass.
The whole reason he didn't have a goatee in the first couple seasons of Deep Space Nine is because
of Spencer for Hire.
It was too much like his other character.
Hawk, yeah.
And they didn't want to attribute that, so they had
that
to
was the
Cisco
hardest
first.
bit. It's like looking at that guy and going, Spencer.
I have no idea who that is. I'm 23. I don't.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm 23. I don't get a lot of these old people jokes.
Moving on,
dude.
Before Andrew starts crying, moving on.
Happy 40th birthday, by the way, buddy.
Yeah, fuck you.
So, the Week in Geek.
Week in Geek. Well,
that's
this week, Marvel got the rights back for the Daredevil.
They actually got
franchise.
it back a while ago, though.
Who did they lose it to?
They're now just confirming it, but I'm pretty sure they got it back.
They got it back, but sorry, they're going to reboot. They were
like, okay, so Daredevil, the movie rights, back with Marvel. It's amazing because it's another character that can be done right.
Oh, are you saying that Ben Affleck didn't do a good
Fuck you.
I can't
Get out.
Fucking
Go
say.
away.
I can't say it
I
with
don't
a
care if you're
straight
joking.
face.
It was so good. He was so handsome.
As long as Jennifer Garner is in the next one, that's all. No.
That'll tie in well.
No, I was really hoping that he could be a character that would be tied in really well with the S.H.I.E.L.D. TV series. You know, he's not a special effects heavy character. You know, get somebody who's not too expensive to play him, and then have him be kind of a reoccurring character on S.H.I.E.L.D.
Get an actual blind guy.
I think that would be dangerous.
Well, if they have him do the stunts, yeah. But I think they could have like a blind person act it out. Anyway, I'm really happy that it's another property that's back with Marvel. I'm pretty sure Punisher is back.
Okay, let's cast it. Let's cast it. Who would be your Daredevil choice?
You know, it's funny. I really don't I don't have like a strong pull toward any particular actor. What about you?
Honestly, I don't think I don't think it needs to be done. I don't think we need a Daredevil reboot.
But why not have it like an unknown and do a TV series? Like do
might
it
as
like
well.
have
Isn't-
him on a character on
Isn't he
S.H.I.E.L.D.
mostly masked anyway? It really won't matter what his face looks like.
Well, he is Matt Murdock. Like having Matt Murdock in the S.H.I.E.L.D. TV series would be awesome.
Now that
like,
would be
S.H.I.E.L.D.
more
S.H.I.E.L.D. is
interesting.
coming in. You know, they're about
He's
to
a
arrest all
lawyer.
these people who have like done all this weird superpowered bullshit, or like alien guns left over from the attack on New York. And then, like, just as they're carting them away, Matt Murdock comes in. He's like, "Not so fast! You haven't read them their rights." And it's just kind of like, "Oh, Matt!" And that would then like cheesy music plays, and they like, roll credits.
It's gonna
Well,
be a
that's-
really good Law and Order series.
I seriously, Matt Murdock, attorney at law. Like,
Well, I think that's actually gonna happen. I think you might get a lot of those nudges in the S.H.I.E.L.D. series. Peter Parker taking pictures in the background.
Peter Parker,
yeah,
Peter Parker
yeah.
will never ever be on the TV series. He won't. He'll never be in the Marvel universe again.
Well, because he's
He's too big of his own.
No, he's
No,
not. He's
the,
owned
the movie
by
rights aren't owned by
Marvel.
Marvel.
Not with Marvel right now. is it?
Sony.
That's
Oh.
right.
But
And
but
they're gonna keep churning out movies until the end of time.
You're right.
Until
You're
Disney just says fuck it and buys Sony.
right.
It's what they've done with every other
Okay.
property
Yeah, you're right.
See it
on the
happen.
planet. Anyway, this is awesome. Good for Marvel, and they also have Punisher again.
they have Punisher again.
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
Punisher
see-
Punisher and Daredevil movie.
oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, like
But
Punisher's just trying to kill the
I
criminals.
love
and-
Punisher, but I've watched them do it 4 times now.
4, 3.
4.
Dolph Lundgren,
Dolph Lundgren,
Thomas Jane.
Thomas Jane
Was only in
Thomas Jane.
Now, Thomas Jane did just recently come out with Dirty Laundry.
Maybe that's what I was.
So
thinking
yes,
of.
technically 3 and a short.
Yeah.
Anybody who hasn't watched Dirty Laundry, just type in
It's
Dirty
pretty
Laundry
awesome.
on YouTube. It's amazing. Have you guys seen
I don't think so.
I've got enough
Uh,
dirty laundry at home.
it? So Thomas Jane loves the Punisher character so much, and he wants to do another Punisher film. So
This was out in what 2011, I think.
2012, I thought.
Yeah?
I thought it was
Okay.
last year. I could be wrong, but it has Ron Perlman in it, and him and Thomas Jane, and like it's just 10 minutes. It takes about 6 minutes to really ramp up, and it's like a long build, but stick through it because, fuck, it's how the Punisher was meant to be. So I'm really hoping Thomas Jane is given another chance to do the Punisher thing and really kick some ass.
Yeah. I've not seen them do well. I did like Thomas Jane doing the Punisher. The
was just a
Punisher
shitty movie.
story that
Yeah.
they chose was wrong.
The fact that John Travolta was a villain and not a Scientologist, I had a really hard time
I thought
believing.
those words were synonymous.
Well, yeah, but I had a really hard time reconciling that discrepancy, so
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy the film.
At least he didn't jump on any couches. That's fine.
Wrong Scientologist, but I'll forgive it because they're all the same.
That was,
You can't tell
that's
them.
the joke.
Well, fucking Scientologists, they all look the same.
Christy Alley, Tom Cruise, same thing.
They're all identical.
All right, so Cesis is getting you. Tom Cruise is getting him.
Oh, the Scientologists are all over this. This has already been deleted.
Oh, really?
This
Okay,
this
so
looks
we've
important.
got a lineup of people that they're talking about as a possibility for the Daredevil
Oh, who
movie. Who could play him? Number 5, Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Matt
Too
Damon.
old. Yeah, sure, pretty boy, but nah. It's disqualified.
Plus,
disqualified by way of Bourne Identity.
No, disqualified by way of, he'll be wearing those red glasses. We won't be able to look at his beautiful eyes.
And Ben Affleck being on before.
Yeah.
How could they do that? They're like brothers.
Michael C. Hall.
No.
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 Dexter.
as
No.
Daredevil.
Dexter
No.
as Daredevil.
No. Move on. No. No.
Michael Fassbender.
Oh, yeah, but he's also Magneto. So
Yeah. Bradley Cooper. I could almost see him.
It's funny.
I could almost see him.
When you asked me, his face did flash in my head.
Yeah.
But I'm often thinking of Bradley Cooper. Not by choice.
he
He's
is
just
a
in my
pretty
head.
boy.
He's
Just-
beautiful.
yeah.
I can't help it.
However, we finish with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who's going to be Nightwing. So
He could. No, he's not going to be Nightwing.
he's not going to be Nightwing.
He just doesn't want him to be Nightwing.
No, he's
Those
really
are
not going
those
to be
are different
Nightwing.
things.
Though. Like, those three movies, those three Nolan movies were like its own little self-contained unit, and I don't think that we'll see anybody from those films like take on their roles again. I really don't.
I would
No.
agree. I think so too.
Yeah, it's its own story. That's it. And besides, in the film, Robin was supposed to become Batman.
Right.
He wasn't going to become Robin or Nightwing or anybody else. He was going to become Batman because Batman can't die.
Very true.
Anyway.
Speaking of comics and things that should be killed, Derrek last week said he was going to hunt down a copy of Crossed
And
and watch Cross. So here, man. Actually, you have a seat. Here.
what's going on? Oh.
I'm just stealing his mic for a minute, man.
Oh, great. So, yeah, last week we gave you some homework.
Right.
To read
Yeah,
Crossed
yeah.
by Garth Ennis.
Yeah. It took me a while to find it. First of all, I had to download a torrent of like 40 different things. So I'm like, now I have this fucking torture porn in the download folder of my
You know
computer.
what? Normally I
Right
don't
next to his regular
condone.
porn.
Normally
Right,
I don't
which is fine.
condone torrenting comic books, but just the fact that you have a hard drive full of torture
Right.
porn. Now.
Right.
Fills
And
you
it's
with mirth.
the only comic I have downloaded is Crossed. Yippee. No, but the first one I watched was a guy fucking the blowhole of a dolphin that was dead.
I'm pretty sure that was Badlands. Well, it was one of the sequels.
I have no idea.
I've seen a lot of the panels because we have gotten them into the shop for people before, and it's like, do you remember Rotten.com?
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah.
like I'm in like grade 8, and it's like nobody's home, and like Rotten.com. It's like
They had the internet in the early 80s?
click. No, dude, I'm like 26. I know. Nice try though.
That's right.
You have to click. It's that curiosity and oh my god.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
He fucked it. He had the dolphin upside down, and it was dead, and it was cut open and bleeding. And there was like a father and a daughter fishing, and they were watching this guy fuck a dolphin's blowhole. So that's the first one I saw, and I just panned the first little bit of that, and I was like, that's not the first one, because I remember PigMonkey mentioning
Salt.
the salt man, and I was like, I gotta find the first one then. So I went and found that one. Okay, it's pretty fucking disturbing.
So for those who don't know, Crossed is about
Dolphin fucking.
the end of
Dolphin fucking.
dolphin fucking,
Right.
among other things. It's the end of times.
And there's nobody left to
So
there's
you
a
might as well fuck a dolphin.
there's a plague that overruns humanity. And so spoiler alert, stop listening now for the next like 4 minutes.
If you
or
want
so.
cross ruin,
If
Yeah.
you didn't already want to read it.
right? You're selling it right
You
now.
really set the bar high here, man. It's like, yeah, I want to read this.
Garth Ennis apparently had a nightmare once, and this is what I heard. So he had a nightmare, and it was the most horrible thing he ever had in his mind. So he decided to write about it. And thank you, Garth Ennis. So yeah, it's basically this plague overruns humanity, and when you're infected, 2 things happen. 1, you get a rash across your face, and it makes a cross pattern. And that's how you can tell who's infected. 2, all those horrible little thoughts you get in your head, like, oh, I'm going to, drive off the bridge, or, oh, I'm going to stick my hand in this deep fryer, or, oh, I'm going to beat that puppy to death. Like, that sometimes, like, just pop into your head, like, because your brain's a dick.
It's true.
Those are all you think about, and that is all you do. You become the most horribly sexually depraved, deviant human being. You're not even human as far as I'm concerned, and you continuously do that.
As I described to PigMonkey, it's almost like if I was 14 and I was high, and I was like, what could I say to really piss this grown-up off? Just the worst thing in my head. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, and
And there's, and I was even saying like, there's not like, it doesn't push you into a story where you're like, okay, I can see how people overlook all this shit for this kind of decent story.
No.
It's just pure shit, really.
Yeah, pure shit.
It's just a comic of pure shit.
But I'm pretty sure that's the tagline of the series. More or less, it's like there is no hope, there is no salvation, there is only the crossed.
And dolphins.
And dolphin
and
fucking.
pure shit.
Yeah.
Actually, technically, that would be dolphin necklace.
No, hold on. I want you to describe the salt scene. Okay, so a guy, there's this group of survivors hanging out in a cave,
Right.
and one of them becomes convinced that salt is how you stop the cross.
Right.
Because he was in a store once, and some salt got on one of them, and they were like, "Ah, what am I?" Ah, like start freaking out because
Yeah.
they got covered in salt.
Yeah.
So you got to that part.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I read the wrong one. Is there more than one issue with salt in it?
I don't think so.
No?
So
Fuck.
they're running through the forest.
You
they're
should
running.
describe it. I don't. Maybe I read the wrong one. I read the dolphin fucking one first, so
Okay,
maybe I'm in the wrong path.
this is where I had to put the book down.
Right.
And this is the only time I've ever put a book down because I was disgusted. So they're getting away. They're trying to this group is trying to run away, and the salt guy, he decides to make a stand for it and puts a ring of salt around himself, his wife,
And his 6-year-old daughter.
his 6-year-old daughter. And I don't even feel comfortable describing what happens. I don't know if PigMonkey wants to, but
Basically, they anally rape the wife while... what did they do to the main guy?
Oh, they were anally raping him.
They were
too.
anally raping him too, and then
They were
they
eitful-
pulled apart and ate the little girl while they were doing it
over the two parents.
over the two parents, while both parents get uncontrollable Tourette's.
Well, they end up getting infected
Yeah.
through the anal raping, and it's anyway. Let's change this up because I'm getting flashbacks. This is bad.
That's horrible.
That subject is just.
You guys get beers?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sweet.
Sweet.
I was just being an asshole, but thanks.
Now we come prepared. I only brought 4. And
Well, Derek, you want mine?
No, I'm alright.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm good.
Well, I really appreciate it, guys.
in the off season, we're maritime heavy armor, but we're also maritime heavy alcoholics.
It's good. It's good to diversify your habits.
Yeah, really. Sometimes we combine them.
Maritime Armor Anonymous.
Let's.
We don't go to meetings. We're not alcoholics, really. We're drunks. We go to parties.
That's right.
Let's move on to some pleasant comic books, such as the comic books you can receive at Free Comic Book Day.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, that's coming up May 4th.
This Saturday.
Yeah.
Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you.
That's really clever.
I wish I could say I thought of that.
Yeah.
Revenge of the 5th.
Oh.
It's even worse.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's awful.
Yeah, it is.
Vinzer, Ben here, is a comic book artist.
Yep.
Random thought, you should print off some copies of some of your great drawings and dish them out.
Again, he's only saying that because he's in it.
Yeah.
True.
What are you doing?
Making a web comic about Vinzer, the Mandalorian.
Oh, okay.
I try to do a page a week, and it's just about he's a character that I played back in Star Wars Galaxies back in the day, and so it's set in the classic Rise of the Empire era, and we got Scott Stormtrooper guest starring in it, and you probably remember Angel.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to be in it too, so
Really cool.
just a little Star Wars web comic with some of the armor guys in it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fun to do.
When do you release your
It's on my website, and I try to do one every Friday, but
and your website is?
steelhaven.com.
That's
But being my own boss, sometimes I miss my deadlines. I never miss other people's deadlines. I'm not so good on my own.
no, that happens.
That's awesome. So are you going to go anywhere for Free Comic Book Day? Or?
We are going to be at Quantum Frontier.
Woo! Free Comic Book Day, Quantum Frontier.
They're an alright bunch of guys, I guess.
Yeah, we guess.
Yeah, the manager there is a real dick.
Caught him.
That'd be me.
I caught him tuning his own horn earlier, but
No, in all honesty, like we're this year for Free Comic Book Day, it's going to be really exciting.
maritime heavy armor will be there, and
Yeah.
probably about half strength, but free food always gets us somewhere.
Yeah, the Hal-Con is having their barbecue at Quantum, but just in general, Free Comic Book Day is going to be huge this year. All the comic book shops are working together on basically this Free Comic Book Day comic shop passport. You can basically pick up this passport at any of the stores or at the Alderney Gate Public Library. and take it to all the locations that you visit that day. It's got a map on it. It's got information on what's going on at all the stores. It's also got the store hours, the address, their phone numbers. And on Saturday, May 4th, if you bring it into the shop, you can get a stamp. Now, if you get this passport stamped at 4 of the 6 locations across Halifax, and then you turn it in, you can actually win some pretty cool prizes.
What kind of prizes can we win, Alex?
Fuck if I know. No, it's
That was a perfect setup, man.
No, I know.
You left me hanging.
well, they could win.
It's too late now.
It's over. I ruined it again. No, we've set aside a couple of statues that people could win. I'm sure some of the places will be giving away books and gift certificates, cool. And yeah, so it's going to be a really cool opportunity to get some cool stuff. And I don't know, for me, Free Comic Book Day was always about the journey, like going to as many different comic shops as I could and having lots of fun. So I don't know, just encouraging more people to do that aspect of Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping that it's a success, and then we can kind of build off from there.
We'll be standing outside waving flags for you, so it's
perfect.
Fun.
Beautiful.
We'll be there.
So if you are in Halifax or from the Halifax area, definitely get out for Free Comic Book Day. We have a great community that supports the whole comic book, board gaming community. Like I'm amazed at how well all the stores in Halifax work together to produce such great events for everyone. It's really nice to see.
Well, I mean, what would we have to gain from just constantly kicking each other down?
Yeah.
But and yet people still do it. So
yeah, but hey, hopefully people can just kind of let things go and understand that we're all one community. Yeah. And we all love reading comic books or doing whatever your nerdy or geeky thing is.
Yeah. And while you're out there picking up free comic books, buy something. I mean, support your local business.
Especially your comic book store. I can't... I hear people will go to places like Walmart to pick up stuff like board games or Magic cards or stuff that's like readily available, but that extra quarter that you're spending to go to your local comic book store for a pack of Magic cards that you're not really going to miss is supporting something local that's giving you access to things, to expanding your knowledge. And that's why it's really important to a lot of the fantastic stuff that I've done, the games that I've played, I've learned because they had it in my local comic book store. When I was a kid, I'd come in and check out comics, and then I got into games from there. And
like one of the things that really pisses me off, I mean, some stores are now getting into doing comic books and graphic novels and all that stuff, and that's great because, and when I say some stores, I mean like big chains. I'm not going to name anybody, but it just kind of pisses me off because they constantly put on these like 33% off the cover price,
and you can't fight that.
I can't fight that, and you go in there, and I challenge you to readily find somebody who can like accurately suggest a book for you.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to find it. And
it's just not the same warm, comfortable feeling. Like, for example, I was in, Ben and I were in Quantum earlier today, and we walked in and we looked at Pat. Pat and I are on a first name basis. If I walk into the Mart of Walls, I'm not going to know anybody there by name because I don't really give a shit about anybody in a building where I can buy my milk, underwear, and comic books. Like it's just.
What if you want milky underwear while you read comic books?
I'll go to 3 different places.
That's a really personal.
That's a very specific fetish.
All right, you have my number. We'll talk later about that. No, it's not so much about just buying it or price even. It's a lot about the feel. I mean, for example, I use Quantum because I go there a lot. Quantum has a great place upstairs where you can go and you can like You can book the room, yes?
Yeah.
And you can just play Magic or do whatever up there. Have board game day or whatever. You can't do that at Walmart.
No, and I mean...
Don't get any ideas, Walmart. I swear to God.
Now opening in Walmart supercenters everywhere. God damn it. No,
Sorry, everybody.
It's, anyway, I hope that more and more people realize, like, especially with Target coming, like, ooh, yay.
I'm tentatively excited because...
Why? It's another American big box. That's replacing a Canadian big box.
Yep, you're right. I'm not tentatively excited at all.
Honestly, I haven't shopped at Walmart in years, and listen, I get it. They have things for cheaper. I don't judge anybody who shops there. That's everybody's...
I do, but...
Well, okay.
You're an asshole, though.
But I shop there too. So.
All right, so
No,
you're qualified.
I just, you know, it's not something I feel good putting my money into, and that's my decision.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
Your
I
money doesn't even pause north of the border when you give it to... You might as well just be transferring your cash directly south of the border when you buy.
I don't have money, so it doesn't really matter where it goes. So,
anyway, support your local comic book store, whether it be
sure.
Quantum Strange Adventures, Monster, or Giant Robot.
Or whatever your comic book store is where you live.
True. Yes, I'm thinking very regional.
No, fly in from Toronto or Vancouver and support Quantum or Giant Robot or Strange Adventures specifically.
I'm thinking of like other places, like
Screw
Britain.
other places.
They'll have places in Britain will have comic book stores.
They can hop the
they're
pond.
everywhere. It's okay. They can have comic book stores in other towns.
Can they be franchises of our stores?
Bloody apathetic.
So go to your local comic store wherever you are and demand that they become franchises of Quantum Frontier.
To make our comic book stores that much richer. We'd appreciate it.
Futurama got canceled again.
When will Netflix just buy all the good properties?
I know, right?
And
Well, you know what? I mean, I love Futurama, but
it's had a good run.
When it came back,
Yeah.
it only had about a year, and I would say only a half a year of really good chuckle, like funny episodes, and it was just spaced out over the entire year. And I found that I was watching Futurama less and less because they'd really done a lot of the exploration and they'd found everything that they had. And
There's only so many stories you can recycle or rehash.
well, yeah. When they put the time code on, or the binary code to reality on Fry's ass, that was pretty much
They totally jumped the shark, man.
that was pretty
Nuke
much
the
the
fridge.
shark jumping moment. Not that like they wouldn't just totally go and jump a shark to...
No, yeah. I'm sure they have on the show. But
I'm all about nuking the fridge. I'm not going to lie.
no, it's one of those things where they've had a good run. Now, people are saying, "Oh no, there's so many more good stories to tell."
Let it die gracefully.
Just let it die. Let it do its thing. And think, like, right before you complain, just think. Have you ever complained about the current, or say the last 10 seasons of The Simpsons?
I haven't watched.
I haven't
Simpsons.
watched
Have you?
the last
Yeah,
10
exactly.
ages ago.
Exactly.
I
So
stopped
seriously,
around, like,
just leave
5
it
or
alone.
6.
Okay, it's dying. You know what? You had a good run, Futurama. Rest in peace.
And
We will see you on Netflix.
My sister, who is not a geeky person at all, loves Futurama, the first 4 seasons. Like, she just can't get enough. It watches it all the time. But when it came back, we started watching it, and she just said, it's not the same. And I said, yeah, you're right. And I found, just like you said, I started watching it less and less, and so...
You know what the interesting problem is? It doesn't contain the concentrated evil that all Fox television shows actually have inserted into it.
Must be what it is.
So that's why Arrested Development it probably won't be as funny either. It's that concentrated evil that just captivates you.
Yeah, well, hate does add a certain creative flavor.
It does.
Hate flavored.
Firefly, that was amazing.
I'm gonna drop a
Definitely
bombshell.
some
I'm gonna
hate
drop a
flavor
bombshell.
there.
I've never watched Firefly.
Wow.
Moving on.
You know what? I am going to leave you to the army of brown coats.
God forbid I haven't watched your show.
What's
with
your
14
email
fucking
again?
Episodes.
And you guys, all you brown coats, you know he'll be at Quantum Frontier on Saturday.
on
Look for the
Saturday.
Stormtrooper, not the Mandalorian. I've seen the show. You're in trouble now, though.
So,
Futurama.
have you actually actively avoided watching it because everybody has told
like,
you?
When it comes to things and stuff, I'm just like super lazy about stuff. Like everybody's like, "Yeah, Firefly." I'm like, "All right." Yeah, Arrested Development.
I feel the same way about Game of Thrones.
I've not watched Game of Thrones either.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
I've never seen an episode, and everybody's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Eh."
I saw the first season of Game of Thrones. It was interesting, but it couldn't possibly get better than a naked blonde chick in the middle of a fire with a bunch of dragons. I figured, like, anything after that.
I was sold on the show when the kid is pushed out the window. Like, a 7-year-old kid just clunk. like it's nothing. And it's just, okay, this is the show for me. I like this.
I would push a 7-year-old kid out a window. I can see this.
I'm not going to say that.
I might watch it when it's no longer relevant and then come back and be like, guys, if you watch this show, it's really good.
Well, yeah. And I still get people coming up to me and saying, have you ever seen Carnival? I'm like, yeah, it was on in 1999.
Is it really that old?
It's 1999 or 2001, somewhere in there.
Fuck.
It's well over 10 years.
Wow.
But I mean, that's how shows get canceled, my friend.
So
Because you don't watch them.
I
Futurama,
don't watch TV, man.
rest in peace.
Yeah, well,
we're okay with it.
I'm sorry to see it go. Well, no, I'm not sorry to see it go. I'm just...
It's going gracefully as opposed to a long, drawn-out, painful, grisly, ugly, gross, disgusting, horrible, miserable death.
A la Simpsons.
We won't hate it by the time it's over. It's not gonna be like, fuck, I'm glad they finally canceled it. It's like, oh, I'm kind of sad to see it go, but they had their run. All right,
Yeah.
peace be with you, and that's that.
Also, Dan Aykroyd said this week that Ghostbusters 3 is going to start filming in 2014.
Speaking of letting things die gracefully.
Sure it is, Dan.
Okay, this is... I love Ghostbusters, okay?
Who doesn't?
It's one of the few movies that I can probably still quote with 90% accuracy from beginning to end. I mean, I don't mock me.
I wasn't talking.
Yeah, you were mocking me. You put your hands to your lips and closed your mouth.
I was coughing. It was like a little.
I really love Ghostbusters.
It's a great 2-film franchise.
It's a great 1-film franchise. It's an okay 2-film franchise.
Yeah.
What was the name of the painting guy?
Vigo.
Carpathian.
He's Vigo. It's a Carpathian.
It's so horribly awesome.
Anyway, I love Dan Aykroyd. I love the Blues Brothers, so Dan Aykroyd, really big.
Can I just interrupt for one second? I want Derek to check on something. Because he found the Angry Beavers /fic review site last time.
Christ. I remember listening to this.
I don't know why this popped in my head. We can question it later. I want you to see if there is giant Stay Puft Man and Statue of Liberty /fiction.
Belay that.
Oh, no.
Can we belay that order? Can
No,
we
that is
not
not-
do that?
He's already started, man. That started the moment the words escaped his mouth, and there's no way we can stop Derek from looking that up now.
Just let me know if you find anything.
I'm sure there's a subreddit for us.
Our sticky statue.
Yeah, so
Space dicks.
Dan Aykroyd, I want to see it, but at the same time, like I saw the Justin Timberlake Saturday Night Live this Christmas, and it had a whole bunch, like it had Dan Aykroyd back with Steve Martin, and they did the Two Wild and Crazy Guys, and
They're
geriatrics.
really,
Yeah,
but
like,
it's not that. It's not that. It was seeing. Dan Aykroyd really heavy, and he's not like Elwood
It's not
or
funny heavy.
Ray.
No.
No, he's like old and possibly arthritic. He's not
Do you
moving.
remember- No,
he's not moving like he'd moved, and it made me kind of sad.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't that I don't like Dan Aykroyd, and he's still not a huge hero of mine, but when they put that against my memory of the Two Wild and Crazy Guys, of what it was, I felt kind of robbed of my memory, and I'm kind of concerned that would happen. But at the same time, it's Ghostbusters, and I will watch anything Ghostbusters.
Here's my, like, when I think of Dan Aykroyd, here's how unfortunate I am. The image of Dan Aykroyd I get is when I think of is Soul Man.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's bad enough. Like, I don't want my
Man,
memories
go
of,
back and watch Dr. Detroit.
No, I
That
don't
was
want-
one
I
of
don't
his.
want
That was a
to
great Dan
have
Aykroyd
my
movie.
memories of Ghostbusters just completely destroyed the way that my memories of Dan Aykroyd in general have been. I mean, Ghostbusters, 2 great films. I love the second film. I don't care what anybody says.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Psychic Snot.
Yeah, and
Psychic Snot. Psychic
And?
Snot. I don't need to go any further than
Yes,
that.
you do. Explain
Psychic
what happened.
Snot.
Psychic
What the fuck?
Dancing
I guess
toaster?
Huh? Yeah, Psychic Snot.
What's wrong with the dancing toaster, sir?
Toasters.
Your love
Toasters.
is lifting me higher.
Oh Jesus.
That's right. I went there.
That's a Bobby Brown. Oh no.
So, no, 2 great films, 1 amazing cartoon, The Real Ghostbusters, and then another completely underrated cartoon, Extreme Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I saw a couple episodes.
Yeah,
was
it
that
was
on for
great.
like 20 minutes or
It was
something?
1 season, I think, of like 13 episodes.
What
But I
was
thought
the
it was
story behind that? It was like
The
their
story
kids,
was what this
Ghostbusters'
next
children?
Ghostbusters should be. If they're ever going to make another Ghostbusters, it should have one person, Egon, okay, the last remaining Ghostbuster, having to find new Ghostbusters. That's what the film should be if they're going to make another film. Bill Murray was right. You know, nobody wants to watch a bunch of old men running around fighting ghosts.
I have the same fears about the new Star Wars. No one's going to want to watch an old Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford run around.
I don't think Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford can run around anymore. I really think you're going to see a lot of talking heads from Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford.
There wasn't a lot of action in the original movies anyway.
Yeah, and you're going to see a lot of the young people carrying away the action.
Oh my god, guys.
Oh no!
my God.
Wait,
wait,
no!
wait.
You got to go give that to him.
Yeah,
I don't
please,
want to see it.
Please.
I don't want to
Before
fuck.
anything,
Oh, thank Christ.
There's a triple X parody. You know how they do the.
Oh,
Triple X
there's only a triple X
where,
parody.
where Slimer has a boner and he jizzes on him.
Can we
Only
put
a triple X
picture
parody,
of
he
that
says.
He's
on
slimy.
You have to collect it and send it to me.
Let's not.
If you want me to put a picture up of that in the show notes, you have to collect
Remind
it
me,
and send.
remind me.
No, fuck you. You remind yourself.
If CSIS didn't need enough dirt on you, your internet history is going to be enough.
Yeah, probably.
They're investigating you right now.
So okay, no slash fic for between Stay Puft and Statue of Liberty for any of the listeners out there
Yes.
looking for a challenge.
Rule 35. I'm going to invoke Rule 35.
34.
No,
No,
Rule 35.
35.
Rule 34 is porn exists of it. Rule 35, if porn does not exist of it, it will be created.
Yeah. So
Do you want me to pull up the rules?
Dude, you don't have to pull up the rules. If no matter what your kink is, somebody is charging people money to see pictures of it right now.
That's also true.
There is a Library of Congress worth of information that goes up on the internet every single day.
It's called 4chan.
No.
That's
Every
half of it.
single day, a Library of Congress gets added to the internet. 1/3 of the internet is porn. That means that every 3 days, a Library of Congress of porn is added to the internet.
We can masturbate
That-
for the rest of our lives.
That
And never
is a
look at the
lot of
same video.
slapping.
Yeah, no shit.
That is some hardcore chafing there, my
All
friend.
right, there's 7 billion people on the planet. At least half of us are male.
Going
Somebody do the
51,
math.
Going
a
back.
49%.
Going back to
fuck off.
Star Wars, just for a second.
Speaking of masturbation, going back to Star Wars.
Lightsabers,
Did anybody see Patton Oswalt's?
Yes.
Yes.
Holy shit.
What? No.
7 to 10 minute just
Yes.
rambling on what the
No,
new
that
Star
was
Wars.
so good.
be.
It was
No, I missed it.
It was
Oh
for
my
Parks
God,
and
it's great.
Recreation.
It's
And
amazing. He was doing a filibuster.
Yeah, he was doing a filibuster. It was so good, and they said to him, just rant about whatever for like 8 minutes or so. So he just comes up, he's got some papers, and he just spouts what he wants the next couple Star Wars films to
Yeah.
be, and he just pulls it all out of his ass, and it's the most fucked up, hilarious, amazing thing I've ever seen. Go
But
watch it.
It would be an amazing film.
Yes, it would.
It really would be.
Oh, I'd love to see Patton Oswalt be like the main creative force behind a few. Like, there is a man who is a hardcore geek, and he comes by it honestly.
Have you heard his bit about like if he could go back in time and kill
Yes.
any person, he would kill George Lucas
Didn't hear that one.
before
No,
he had a
I
chance to
haven't.
make the new films. Like he's all like, I would kill that fucker so fast. I mean, you know, it'd be like he and I'm totally butchering it right now, but it's like, you know, hey, you know, I'm planning on making a new trilogy. Doesn't that sound wonderful? Yeah, that sounds great. Well, do you like Darth Vader? Well, yeah, I love Darth Vader. Darth Vader's amazing. Well, would you like to maybe see him in the new movie? Yeah, that'd be amazing. Well, I'm planning on making him a little boy whose mom dies and then he's sad.
He probably pitched this. How did this get through?
Yeah,
Fuck.
well, it's because it's George
He's
Lucas. and he can
George
print money.
Lucas. He gets
Here's
to,
$1 billion. All right, George.
Whatever
Here
you
you go.
want.
Well, no, he paid for it himself.
Yeah,
That's the
Because he's
problem.
smart
Money.
enough to own the merchandising
When
rights.
you have
Yeah.
so much money
He
that
has
you
more
don't
money than
have
God.
to listen, when you have so much money that you don't have to listen to anybody else around you. Like, usually when you don't have a lot of money, you go to your friends, hey, this might be stupid. This idea might be stupid. Is this stupid?
And your friends
Yes,
say, yeah, it's fucking
that's
dumb.
stupid. And you don't do it. But when you've got money, you don't need your friends to tell you it's stupid. There is zero buffer between your imagination and what you can make. So
Just a staff too scared to say, no, that's a terrible idea, George.
well, I mean, like, you know what? I think I want the entire staff of my company to dress up like the cast from The One Ring for Casual Friday. Well, you know what? With enough money, you can make that happen. You could, and there is zero buffer. If I had a lot of money, I would build trebuchets in my backyard, like giant trebuchets, and get engine blocks. And I would paint like 6 engine blocks. I would paint half of them orange and half of them yellow, and have giant lawn dart games in my backyard. Now, my backyard wouldn't be very big, so it would really be in the neighbors.
Fuck it, buy a new backyard.
I'll just buy the neighbors'
Buy the
backyards.
Just their
But
backyard, though. They can keep
like,
their house.
that's the kind of shit that money will do for you.
Yeah.
Money will make you crazy. It's like the
No,
damn
money makes you eccentric. Being poor is crazy.
Yeah.
If
No,
you're
no.
poor, no, it's true. If you're poor, you're crazy.
You're rich.
If you're rich, you're eccentric. There's a
Yeah.
difference.
I wanna
Rich people hire therapists because they're so upset they don't know what to do with their money. And their money causes them stress. So they hire people to teach them what to do with their money, which pisses
give
away
it
their money.
to me, and that will help with that stress.
I read a list earlier today of 9 of the craziest things rich people do with their money. And it was just sad.
Scientology.
What is yes, Scientology. give it to L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah, really, Christ. I wish I remembered them off the top of my head, but it just made me really upset because I'm not rich. So I'm like, fuck all these people. One of them was like one rich guy in Russia just folded up like 5,000 ruble notes, which is like 6 cents or something, and real money. And he was just throwing them off a building at crowds of people in St. Petersburg. Cause he was
That's
so
awesome.
Because he was so fucking rich. He's like, paper airplane, yeah. And he's just chucking money off the
I
fucking
have
roof.
no problem with
My-
that.
There's a
If-
fucking riot down below.
if
Russia's
any
poor.
Rich people want to throw money in my general direction, I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
My
I'm not gonna
favorite
lie, I would
was
say no, I'd be
was
upset
what
too.
KMFDM did. They took their entire profit sales from. You remember KMFDM?
Yeah.
They took their entire profit sales and filmed like it was like millions of pounds,
That's just
and they
being a dick,
lit it
though.
on fire and filmed it.
No, that's just being an asshole. Like, seriously.
Well, it was their money.
Yeah,
I mean,
but come on. If you really
Is that
don't
a federal
give a shit,
offense?
no, but I don't give a shit about that. If
Destroying
you
currency.
really don't give a shit about the money, give it to somebody who needs it.
Like Prostate
Give it
Cancer
an
Canada.
organization.
That's
Give
right.
it. Give it.
yeah,
to-
no, I get it. I understand.
Yeah,
I
that just
just
pisses
think
me
it's.
off.
I just think it's fucking
Yeah,
hilarious.
no, assholes. Like fucking assholes.
Well, you did like see how they said goodbye when they quit. They did a live performance and then fired off an Uzi full of blanks into the audience. that was their final goodbye to and then KMFDM has left the building forever. That was the end of their or not KMFDM. What was it? ELF. Is it ELF?
Anyway,
KLF. That was what it is. KMFDM. Oh, fuck. People are going to be pissed. They will over something like that. But I
You'll
mean,
get some nasty emails.
regardless,
And cry yourself to sleep.
no more Ghostbusters movies. Let's remember it like the Futurama thing. Let's remember it as something
from our
awesome.
childhoods or
And
adolescence.
nobody,
or
I
however old you
respect
guys
Bill
are.
Murray for constantly saying no and dragging his feet on this because, as awesome as Bill Murray is, when I see him now, I'm kind of shocked. I'm like, Bill Murray, buddy. So and same with Dan Aykroyd. Like, do you really want him running around on screen there?
I don't think you're going to see him running around.
Okay, do you want?
Body doubles.
Yeah. So right there, just no, done.
No.
We're done.
Hey, Derek, how long have we been recording?
About an hour.
Okay, so we'll run
Whoops.
over one more thing and then we'll have space to edit out. Thor. The new teaser trailer from Thor was released this week. I took a look at it. I mean, it's a second superhero movie. Traditionally, they are, what's the word?
Mediocre.
Crap.
Alright. I was trying to be nice, but
Except Spider-Man 2. I will grant that Spider-Man 2 was
Spider-Man
better
2?
than the original. But you show me another...
X2?
No! Oh, God, that wasn't better than the first X-Men.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Who are you? Do you watch films in this dimension?
Yes, I do.
in Bizarro World, PigMonkey likes the second.
No, he doesn't like the second.
Okay, I liked.
What was wrong with X2?
They were just playing around with more of the same. Now, X2 was
The
Nightcrawler and
yeah.
and the
and
the
Stryker
Striker
Yeah.
and
taking the mutants.
yeah, no, I get it.
like
It was
it
like
did the Weapon
yeah,
X
but they were
thing?
trying to patch in the Weapon X thing into their story.
It wasn't,
But it
patched
doesn't-
in. It was like fundamental to the story. It was a good film. Go back and watch it. It's a great film.
I highly disagree about
Go back
great
and watch
film.
it. Go back and watch
I'll
it.
watch it. I'll watch it
We'll,
again.
we'll discuss it next week.
Okay,
I'll go back and watch it. Maybe I'm mistaken.
you are.
I'm not. I'm just trying to be nice.
They're like a married couple.
Don't say that.
It's okay. It's all right in this society.
No, I've decided I'm gonna try to swear off of trailers from now on.
Really?
Yeah, because what do I gain from watching trailers?
You know that the movie exists.
No, I know that the movie exists when I look on Reddit and this movie exists now, or it's going to exist in X number of months. I meant to bring it. I made a list of all the films that I want to see up until October. There's like 30 films.
Oh shit.
Oh well, we should do that next episode. We'll talk about
all the ridiculous. Like, there's a lot of great.
The summer films are coming out. It seems like a good thing to talk about.
But I'm just, when I watch a trailer now, I mean, they put so much in those trailers. Like, for the new Star Trek movie, I know so much that happens in that film. It's like nothing's going to be a surprise.
Those are going to be all the action sequences. The rest is just going to be boring dialogue.
Well,
that's what trailers usually are. It's like, here's all the action sequences that you'll see in the movie, and the rest is just going to be nothing. Sometimes you won't even see those sequences. I like
the boring dialogue.
Yeah, me too, but I mean, it's nice to see action sequences that I didn't see 6 months ago in a fucking trailer.
There was a guy, though, in the States who sued a movie theater. It may have been the production company. I don't know who he sued. But he sued successfully because there was an explosion in the trailer that then wasn't in the film. So, I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool.
The States is a fucked up place.
It is.
You can sue anybody for anything down there.
But anyway, trailers are just, I don't know. It ruins the movie experience. And I think I'm going to swear off them, which is going to be really hard because...
I give him 2 weeks tops.
Oh God, I'm subscribed to the movie subreddit. It's gonna be
I give him a day. I give him till he gets home.
Yeah, that's true. Hold on. I'm just gonna watch a trailer quickly.
All right. Well, I think we're coming to the end of the show here. I want to thank Scott and Ben for coming out. It was good luck with raising funds this summer. You're out on the weekends only?
Almost every weekend,
Almost every weekend. So if you want to come out and have your picture taken with the guys from Maritime Heavy Armor and make a donation to prostate cancer research, you can do it with them. I am PigMonkey.
I'm Alex.
And that is the end of our show for today. We'll see you next week.